Hey everybody, Kevin here from Invisible Insights, your high performance coach, and here's a little something something for your performance edge. Now, I want to talk today about a concept, but I want to set it up first because many times when I'm coaching and we're walking through a conversation, there are kind of three elements that I lean into trying to wrap my brain around while I'm talking to an individual. So if you're someone I coach, you're going to know this. But if not, for many of you who don't experience coaching or whatever, I think their coaches will usually use frameworks of some kind to help, engage and have a deeper understanding of the situation of the individual that I'm coaching, or just the person and where their state is in general. And so my coach taught me this, and it's called the 3G method. And so where I'm looking for in the first G is, where are they guarded? Where are you guarded right now? If you were to get a journal, and here's what's powerful about journaling, because journaling doesn't allow things to exist that are not real. When you're really putting it down, it gets very real in terms of articulation. And as you articulate, as you journal, my friend says, fear has no place on paper. And it's just one of those things where the more that you sort it out on paper, you filter it. It is a powerful filter. And when you get into that filtering of it, it really starts to expose some things. And some of the things it will expose is the aspect of being guarded. And being guarded is like when we put constraints on ourselves, when we maybe don't say everything we really feel like we need to say, or do everything we feel like we need to do. Guarded has a way of kind of just creating a kind of mental or a cognitive type of constraint, where we hold back and we don't lean in. And what I have to try to do is, if I feel like at some point in the process of walking through a situation or having someone unpack their journal with me, I'm always looking through the lens of that idea. Where are you guarded? And then we get into the aspect of being grounded. So when you go from guarded, I want to be able to move us to this place of being grounded, where it's like we're now in that pocket of feeling like, okay, there's congruence. Like I'm here. I can feel things. I can feel what I'm doing. It's not, the story is, I haven't become the story. The story isn't dominating me. The situation isn't defining me in any way. It is just the ability to be able to pull back and just be grounded and just be, just certain about who you are and what you're about and what you believe. And when you get into that aspect of it, I can just tell. It's just like you see just the tension go down. You see the shoulders drop. The conversation will shift into more other eyes going up about, I think there's something I want to talk about. Like, it gets into that free component of just kind of being relaxed and loose, and it really paves the way for the next G, which is generosity. And generosity isn't just always about, giving something. In many ways, generosity is just kind of like releasing or just, I always talk about an act of graciousness in terms of, like where is that graceful, being graceful. It's just like there's a part of it where I'm discerning when I'm looking at, someone I'm coaching, and I'm just kind of going like, have they formulated into that part where they want to do something with this? They want this to be not just a better version of themselves as a process of this, but not just that, but just a generous person, and out of all this, and from this, this concept, and going into this is a huge setup. But we often find ourselves in these situations fighting against the efforts to put us in a box, to hold us back, to suck the life out of us. And I want you in that generous state. I want you going through that level of flow, because if we can do that in the coaching session, it establishes a pathway of growth and the ability to take whatever we're processing and not just make your life better, but that expression and that expansion of that impacts others around you in a positive way. We always try to lead like, hey, what are the things that we can be able to do for others or lean into for others as a byproduct of you being the best version of you? And this is where it defeats being stuck, because that's the question I wanted to lean in from the beginning. It's like a lot of times we're stuck, and every time you go through the 3G process here, what you start finding is there's iterations of yourself that often we try to avoid those things. What is it with trigger warnings? Don't tell me something. No. Those are the things that you need to work on that help you. That's like a gift. When you have that idea of, oh, this creates this in me, and I like, no, that's exactly where we need to go. Because if not, your life is just going to continue to shrink and get smaller and smaller and smaller if you're avoiding everything. This allows you to work through, hey, where am I guarded right now? How do I go from being guarded in this situation to being grounded, and then to finding that pocket of being grounded? Can I be generous with this? Can I express it? And can I expand it? Can I go through another iteration of myself and my growth to be able to help someone else go to another level and be generous in that respect? That is the game we're playing here. That's what this is all about. So if you're stuck in a pivot, it's easy to grind when you're in a pivot, but in this case, I want you to be iterative. I want you to be like what's the new version going to look like once I get through this? So that's the recipe, gang. Self-coach through that. Journal through that. When you start journaling and you combine those G's with it, you can walk yourself through some amazing personal levels of clarity and focus and growth. And it will pave the way for you to be generous and be able to lead others without having to manufacture energy. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to do nothing. It's just a byproduct of that next version of you. So with that said, hey, when you see the invisible, you become unstoppable. This is a huge invisible. This is deep today. So take it somewhere. Do some damage with it, because it's worth spending the time. Stuck? Are you guarded? Are you grounded? Are you generous? Stay after it. Do some damage.